If you look at Argentina out to this tournament, yeah, they've not really been playing, let's say, beautiful football. Yeah, they get the result.
Argentina?
But yes, the difference in their team is that they have Messi. And as far as Messi is on the pitch, he has the ability to make anything happen.
From the start of the tournament, I've been saying it, England has not been playing beautiful football. Some persons have argued that the result is more important than whatever you play. But I feel like, because I've seen Klopp, I've seen Pep Guardiola, and I expect, of course, you're not compelled to play the way I want you to play, but I expect that when you have qualities all around, a player that was bought for £160 million, and what he does the most is get the ball and oof. I don't watch football like that. Bellingham, like I said, is not a central midfielder. He doesn't have much impact in midfield as much as he has in the third half of the field.
A day to the semi-final, Sky News posted that there is an issue between Jude Bellingham and Thomas Tuchel. Your nation is preparing for a semi-final, and the best piece you as a journalist, like as a media company, can do is to be criticizing or creating an issue for your team ahead of a crucial clash.
If England had won the World Cup, it would be Bellingham. If Spain, I said Yamal. If Argentina wins it, Messi. If France wins it, I'm telling you that.
But you know, it would be very disappointing, though, to be very, very honest, that a crop of players would play their hearts out for months, rake up numbers, goals, assists, be instrumental to their team, and get to that point where you think, okay, they've done really, really well for club and maybe country, because I mean some of these players
like
even got to the Harry Kane, we are talking semi-final, Michael Olise semi-final as well, and a couple of other names as well, and then somehow just in a space of 1 month and a lot of hype and PR, another person seems to be like the front runner for. I'm not insinuating, I'm just saying, fight with your conscience, but it is what it is. All right, people of culture, welcome back to the show. It is Culture 11. This is the podcast where we get to talk everything football. Football is the culture. We love football. We enjoy all the passion. We enjoy the energy. We enjoy the drama. We enjoy the suspense. And that is what we live for. My name is Josh, the Black Boy Coffee, and this is the third episode of Culture 11. Definitely, we've been talking a lot about the World Cup. We've been talking a lot about transfers. And the World Cup has definitely gotten to the stage where we are looking forward to the final in a couple of days. On Sunday, the final of the World Cup will go live between Argentina and Spain. But if you're going to be talking about drama in this World Cup so far, we have experienced a whole lot of it. But the recent one that happened will be the one that went down between France and Spain, and of course England and Argentina. And that's where we're going to be starting from. My name is Josh, the Black Boy Coffee. I'm never alone in the studio. The boys are right here with me. I've got Smurfy tomorrow. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, Messi, it didn't give us room to celebrate. And what a wonder woman from Messi and Argentina. I'm not a fan of Messi, neither am I a fan of Argentina, nor a fan of Tuchel. So I was really in between yesterday, and whoever won was none of my business. As long as Tuchel gets sacked, or as long as he gets torn, and which has been happening on different platforms. But it's wonderful to be on the show.
All right, then. Covenant is also to my left today. What's up, Covenant? How are you doing?
Well, the fact that France is not in the World Cup final, I think is a good thing for me, because when the World Cup is going on, we heard somebody said Mbappe is on the same level as Telema Ronaldo.
Oh.
But when you look at it now, maybe
I thought we agreed that person does not have sense. We all talked about it.
Well, maybe if you present the fact to the person now, you can finally say, oh, maybe.
He doesn't argue with facts. What are you talking about?
You don't need to waste your time talking to somebody who is already on the floor. I mean, it's just like you're going so low. You can't be lower than that person.
Wow.
So it's a good World Cup so far, and looking forward to it.
All right, then. In case you do not know, the game that went down between Argentina, why you not going to know, Seth? What do you mean by in case you do not know? What are you doing with your life?
You're not Sana.
Well, that one, Dragon Ball, you watch. Well, the game between England and Argentina ended 2-1, which came as a shock to a lot of people. Argentina came from behind to score 2 goals in just 6 minutes to secure that tie. England scored early in the second half of the 55th minute, courtesy a goal by Anthony Gordon, and it was one that a lot of football fans thought, okay, maybe we would see the end of Argentina at this World Cup, because I mean, the game went on going. It kept on going rather, and it felt at some point that, okay, maybe Argentina cannot score anymore. But you would trust the English boys to always, I don't let me say disappoint you, let me just say surprise you when you when you expect them not to. 2 goals by Enzo Fernandez in the 85th minute and also Lautaro Martinez, 90+2 secured the win for Argentina and sent them into the final to face Spain. Let's start from there. What would we say went wrong in that game? If you're going to ask me, I would say the same thing that I said for Egypt. Argentina is not a team that you get a goal or 2 or 3 against and then you decide, okay, let's sit back at home and try to defend. It will never, ever end well. It happened with Egypt. We've seen another replay with England. What do you think, would you say, in your own opinion, is the reason that game ended that way?
If there's one thing that I've seen at this World Cup, and if there's one thing I know, is that sitting back at this World Cup might give you enough opportunity to enjoy the game, not even enjoy the game, to take the pain and eventually get beaten. Yes, it has worked for some people where they defended and got a point in the group stage, but immediately got to the knockout. I think teams have tried to sit back and eventually didn't get past that stage. We saw that with, I think, Egypt, like you said. We've seen that. We saw that with Paraguay. Did a lot of antics against France. Played a lot of around football. I mean, got on. We were lucky with the referee, and then we saw that with England yesterday. I feel like England at this point should not. And from the start of the tournament, I've been saying it. England has not been playing beautiful football. Some persons have argued that the result is more important than whatever you play. But I feel like, because I've seen Klopp, I've seen Pep Guardiola, and I expect, of course, you're not compelled to play the way I want you to play, but I expect that when you have qualities all around, a player that was bought for £160 million, and what he does the most is get the ball and oof. I don't watch football like that. Bellingham, like I said, is not a central midfielder. He doesn't have much impact in midfield as much as he has in the third half of the field. And a lot of people have said, oh, I don't know football. Pedri is a better central midfielder than Bellingham. Whether Bellingham is
okay, you know what? I don't want us to stray too much away from the conversation. At this point, we're not here to talk about who's better than who or what another team probably could have done. Let's talk about England, Argentina. What went wrong? Because the first half of that game, England played well. Well, if you are asking for my opinion, I think to an extent they played well against a team like Argentina. It was rough. Argentina did their thing. England also showed them that, okay, if you can do it, we can also do it as well. And then, ended in stalemate in the first half of the game. And then luckily for them, they got a goal in the second half. And all of a sudden, after they got the goal, it felt like they just turned off the attack button in their heads. And then we'll do a couple of people, I think Harry Kane's statement kind of like insinuated that instruction was from the coach. But let's talk about it. Because if we're talking about defend, we've seen teams that would defend 1-0 leads from the first half to the end of the game and everything. So it's not like we are saying it is alien to see a team defend after you get a goal or something. But we're saying what went wrong. At least they defended from the 55th minute up to the 85th minute. So what went wrong within 6 minutes in that second half?
It just boils down to how I feel like Tuchel shot himself in the foot. From the 55th minute to the 85th minute when Enzo Fernandez scored a shot from outside the box. The ball possession was around 85-15. I'm not sure if that number is correct, but it was around that amount. You gave Argentina the opportunity to play, to dominate, to just play around as if, yes, if it had worked, everybody would have said, oh, kudos to England and Tuchel for their game management. But I feel like with the quality you have, you can still you can still out Argentina on the counter if you were interested in playing football. You started removing your feet, your attackers, not attackers so to say, but midfielder Declan Rice. You brought in defenders. You did not even think if anything had happened in that game, it would have been difficult for you to even play in the extra time. I feel like if the game had gone into extra time, it would have been even more terrible. But kudos to Argentina, the way they were able to keep their head in the game. They did a lot of antics in the first half, which I did not like. But yes, they were not so bad. They played to their strength. and they won the game eventually.
All right.
Messi was outstanding yesterday.
Let's hear from 2 assists in 6 minutes.
One with his
that's
wicker foot.
that's beautiful. Let's hear from Kovena. What do you think about the game between England and Argentina?
Well, for me, just like you said, if it has worked out, everybody will be like, oh, that's a tactical masterclass. So because when you look at the game, if you look at Argentina out through this tournament, they've not really been playing, let's say, beautiful football. Yeah, they get the result.
Argentina?
But yes. The difference in their team is that they have Messi. And as far as Messi is on the pitch, he has the ability to make anything happen. The difference between Argentina and England yesterday is not because Argentina played better, it's because they have Messi. Now, look at the 2 goals. Look at the continence of all the players. The first ball was a loose ball. Messi ran after the ball. Immediately he ran, everybody repositioned themselves. If it was another player, he might not, because the ball was going for a throw-in, if you look at the ball. But he has to run, we have something to lose here.
Okay.
He got the ball, passed it to Enzo, and the second one also, you see, with his weaker foot. So I just think yesterday, England, they were playing well until that goal. They scored the goal, and the first thing you do is to remove your goal scorer, which is Gordon. You brought in Konsa. Then you took off Declan Rice, brought in another defender. You took off Reece James, brought in Dan Bond. Now, you look at the calibers of players that are coming. You brought in a lot of defenders. And still, if not for Jordan Pickford and also the crossbar, even before those 2 goals, Argentina could have scored. So what are you trying to do? You brought in so many defenders, and it is obvious they cannot defend. Because even before the goals, Argentina was like, it's not like, maybe they were blocking their shot. The shots were getting to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper was doing his job, and they were hitting the woodwork. It shows that even this low block is not working. So you could have made use of the attacking prowess you have. You have attacking players on the pitch. You now waited till they scored the second goal. 95 minutes, you now brought in Ivan Toney and Marcus Rashford to come and do what again? So it just shows that game, he got the substitution wrong yesterday, Thomas Tuchel. So I blame him for the game.
All right, let's talk about conversations that have followed since after that game. When that game ended, well, before the competition even started, since he dropped the selection, a lot of people have been calling for Thomas Tuchel to be sacked because they believe that he didn't take the right players that would be able to secure the win or maybe even go far in the World Cup. But I mean, this is the same England, the same players that got to the semi-final, right? And then the World Cup started. They won 4-2 against Croatia. They drew against Ghana, won 2-0 against Panama, won 2-1 against DR Congo, won 3-2 against Mexico. I think that was in extra time.
Yes.
Also won 2-1 against Norway before finally losing to Argentina, in the semi-final. Let's look at their run so far. Would we say it has been a fluke or a stroke of genius? We all spoke about the type of players that he selected for the World Cup. I mean, felt okay. England has better players that could have gone to the World Cup. Who definitely could provide 1 or 2 things that this group of players might not be able to provide for you. And when he spoke, he said he wanted players who would understand the tactics and also not be selfish on the field of play. That's what he said. And a lot of people expected him to crash out from maybe the group stage or the round of 32 or max the round of 16. But he went forward and before he eventually crashed out in the semi-final. Let's look at how England played throughout this competition. At some point, some players played. At some points, we couldn't find those players again. At some point, it felt like if you play today and you don't do well, the next person will play. If the next person plays today and doesn't do well, the next person will play. It didn't look like England, except for a few positions. Yes, yeah. It didn't look like. I think the only positions that were secure was Harry Kane as a number 9, Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, and Elliot Anderson.
Yes.
And the rest was and Jordan Pickford. The rest was just as the spirit leads. that's what it felt like.
Vibes and inshallah.
Vibes and inshallah, as it felt like, because at some point we had Noni play on the right, we had Saka at some point, we had Jet Spence at some point on the left, on the right, we had Rogers, we had Nico O'Reilly at some point. I still don't understand why that brother didn't play, because aside from playing as a left back, he contributes a lot going forward as well. Would you say that their run so far, not to stray too far away from the conversation, would you say it was a fluke or you think we could still sense the genius masterpiece of Thomas Tuchel?
There was no masterpiece in the tournament. We saw Gary Southgate, and I would say that anything that Tuchel has done, Southgate has done it as well, because he's gotten the finals of two. One Euro final can be a fluke or a magic, or let's say just happen. Two is not a mistake. And I think he got to the semi-finals in 2018 World Cup as well. One thing that we've always complained about Southgate is that he somehow presses the panic button, or he uses the safety this thing so much. And when England brought in Tuchel, they were expecting Tuchel to be better than Southgate. It should be an upgrade to Southgate because he's won the Champions League and he's coached from 05 to Dortmund to PSG to Chelsea to Bayern. So they were expecting an upgrade. Southgate had only done whatever he's done at Middlesbrough before moving to England. But so they were expecting an upgrade. So getting to the semi-final, yes.
Can we say Thomas Tuchel has been an upgrade to Southgate?
He should have been an upgrade.
As in so far?
So far, I don't think he's an upgrade because of the way he plays. He doesn't play better than Lee Castley for me. That's my opinion. Lee Castley was the person that took over, after Southgate on an interim basis. And I saw that England could play expressive football. Tuchel got there and everything went back to normal. It went back to the default. And I look at the route of England getting to this place. The only opposition that I can say that looks like an opposition was Norway and now Argentina. So this big format has given bigger clubs the opportunity to avoid bigger opponents until you get to a crucial point. And I think for Norway got to the quarterfinals. Spain are already in the semi-finals, and they were not so impressive until maybe against France. So anybody can get anywhere as long as you don't have to. If they had played say Spain in the quarterfinals, or probably maybe Argentina in the round of 16, when I can say, okay, this is a masterpiece or a brilliant idea from the coach. But looking at their opponent, I'm not so wowed. But Scaloni is in the finals already, and who the hell is Scaloni? So I'm not so impressed with.
Argentina also had a not too difficult path.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not so impressed with Tuchel, but he is in the semi-finals, and you cannot rubbish that. But he's not done more than what Southgate has done, and he's supposed to be an upgrade.
Covenant, do you have a different opinion?
Well, I'm not going to say he has been an upgrade, and I'm not going to call it a fluke, because when you look at the crop of opponents they've had in this tournament, the group stage, okay, let's say I'm impressed their game against Croatia. That's the only game I can say I watch in the group stage, and I'm impressed. I watch the other games, but I'm not impressed. Then against DR Congo, they struggled. They have to come back. But if you watch them against Mexico, they were actually brilliant. With a red card, they still went ahead and scored before they defended, and Mexico got their second goal, 3-2. They were brilliant. If you watch game, because Mexico came into the game as them and Spain, at that point in the tournament, have not conceded. And at least they scored, I think, 2 goals in each of their games before then. So
and they still scored 2 against England.
Yeah, so they came into the game, and you know that England has to know that, okay, this team defending against them is not going to be a favor for us. It came out and they scored more goals than Mexico. So I think they did well. Against Norway, they have to come back to, because Norway scored first and they scored 2. So you can't say all that are fluke. They did something.
They were not so impressive against Norway.
I'm not saying they are so impressive. But okay, now Argentina yesterday, if England has not chose to play that low block yesterday, up to the point of that first goal that England scored, England were the better team. Argentina was not playing well.
I disagree.
So, but it's just to me. Now, thank God for him that he has a second chance now. They've said he will be their manager, because I believe in English
till 2028, which is another question that I have. Do we think that's
anything can
a
change
good decision?
before then.
There's still Nations League before Euro.
See, English media can start instigating reports, and before you know it, World Cup will finish and say, you know what, let's just part ways. It is possible. So, but if he has the opportunity, I believe 2028, he can, show that, now he would have had more time with the team by then. But one thing that I will praise Tuchel for in this tournament is the fact that he lets them know that I'm the manager in charge. He did not pay attention to the media. Because if you had paid attention to the media, all these, you should have brought this person. The media, English media always wants their intent, like their own opinion to be what the manager. He said something yesterday in his press conference. He said he now has to face millions of managers that he has the right to choose between listening to them or making his own decision. He made his decision, and he said, I took responsibility for it. That's what a manager needs. So I just think he needs to do better tactically.
Well, the England we saw at the World Cup, I don't know if I'll call that a stroke of genius. Well, like you said, they got to the semi-final too. There's an extent to which a fluke can carry you as well, to be very honest. But if you will continue,
to the finals of the Champions League.
It didn't start from the beginning.
But where it started from is really not my business.
Let's calm down first. Okay, thank you so much. So before we talk about that, let's as we're wrapping up on England, I think one thing that I feel needs to change for me as well, because I mean, if it's going to stay at the end of the first of 2028, at least for now, because we know anything can happen, there needs to be like a proper cohesion between himself and his players. We saw a situation where, he said something, some of his players were like, that's his own opinion. Madueke said something like that that's his opinion.
What was Madueke doing in this World Cup?
And Harry Kane also, like I said, kind of like insinuated that he wasn't comfortable with the fact that he had to defend after getting the one goal, which seemed to be like a tactical decision from the coach as well. So I feel like better cohesion could make this England team, maybe achieve something under Thomas Tuchel. But what do you have to say? See,
it's not about the cohesion between the players and the manager. It's the press. Now, if you look at the full interview of that game after they beat Norway, Tuchel was actually praising his player before he now said, "Oh, we have to do better." The mentality was not okay. They took only this the moments that look like criticism and present it to Jude Bellingham. I'm trying to tell you, that was what Jude Bellingham reacted to. He didn't get the whole story that this same guy called Jude Bellingham the best player on the pitch in that same game that they are presenting. So now, a day to the semi-final, Sky News posted that there is an issue between Jude Bellingham and Thomas Tuchel. Your nation is preparing for a semi-final, and the best piece you as a journalist, like as a media company, can do is to be criticizing or creating an issue for your team ahead of a crucial clash. So it's not just about the manager and the players. The press, they are not happy. See, the biggest enemy of English national team is the press. Everybody knows that.
BBC UK, it's not for England alone. You have to sell your papers.
You know what? The media will do what the media will do. I mean, we say if we do our thing as we do like this. If you come as an talk, say one person.
Nigeria will be playing World Cup final tomorrow, and what we'll be talking about is how Nigeria is bad.
Brother, we've had situations where we've had situations.
That is the time we come together.
No,
I know Nigeria for that.
We've had situations where, wait, what was it, a competition or a friendly? Which one did we do that we were criticizing Victor Osimhen?
It was AFCON.
It was AFCON. It was going on, and everybody had something to say about Victor. They didn't care that the competition was ongoing. They didn't care that it was our best player on the pitch. They didn't care about anything. This same general conversation you are pushing for Mbappe has been pushed for Victor Osimhen in the middle of a competition. The media will do what the media will do. But as a manager and as a player, I mean, okay, yes, you went to, was it a press conference or you were stopped on the pitch and you were shown a microphone and you were told that your coach said so. That coach is the person that you are with. You can match up to your coach and say, I heard you said so. You have a phone. You are not cut off from social media. If everything was out there, yes, you've seen, they brought one piece to you. You had training sessions before the next game. You had conversations before the next game. If you are as a player, you heard so that got you pissed and you held it in, you didn't address it, you didn't talk to anybody about it, and then you're using that to react. I'm not blaming you for.
He's going to play for Mourinho. Let him try that nonsense with Mourinho.
I'm not saying that.
He's not going to play the next
So that's what we are saying. There's no excuse here. We understand how the media can be. But I mean, for a professional like Jude Bellingham, it's not the first. You are talking about this boy is an English boy. Yes, he has been facing that for years. He currently plays for Real Madrid. Fair PR last season now. You know what Spanish media do Real Madrid last season? Jude Bellingham was a beneficiary to the problem. Vinicius Junior. He has also been a beneficiary to the issue. So I mean, I don't make excuses. Make your decision and stand by your decision. Yeah. If you decide, say you want fight your coach with your full chest. media will do their P. You self do your own. And if you try with
somebody like Balotelli really doesn't give a fuck if who you are, whether you are Mourinho or anybody.
You handled him well. Go and play with under 23.
So that's it. Well, let's not spend too much time on England, Argentina. Let's move on to another game that shocked a lot of people because France-Spain was, a fixture that, yes, we know Spain to be Spain. They beat them in the Euros, I remember.
They beat them in the Euros, beat them at
3 times in a row
at
UEFA Nations League.
League.
Yeah. So, but France was one of the names that a lot of people pushed to say, okay, if we are going to pick a team to win this World Cup, I'll pick France. Yes, before you'd hear of the Argentinas and the Spains. And those ones they talk Portugal too, but we heard about every single one of them. But yeah, but they said they go win and I win.
Now Ronaldo actually, but
so yeah, a lot of people were just being sentimental about that, being emotional. Yes, it's his final World Cup. Maybe they can do it. Well, let's talk about France and Spain. That we expected it to be a good game of football. I don't think any faction of fans, be it France or Spain, could confidently beat their chest and say this person would win. We expected it to be a good game of football, where two strong sides would go against each other, give you a good game of football, and somebody would eventually win, either by penalty or by a goal or whatever. But that game was one that, gave a lot of football fans shock. For a high-flying France team that has been flying since, dare I say, 2018, seeing them play that way against Spain, it doesn't matter if you're playing Spain or if you are playing the host of heavens. It doesn't matter. We know what you can do. We've seen what you've been doing. You had no right to be so stinky. What do you think about that match? Let's start with Covenant.
No matter how good you are, you always have the days that everything is not just going to work for you. That happens to France. Because if you watch the game, it just looked like Spain did not come to, play against France's strength. They came to play their own game. Spain, we all know them. They are the master of tiki-taka. Their midfield. See, that game is one of me trying to maybe accept the notion that Rodri could actually be one of the greatest midfielder of his generation, not all time, of his generation. If you watch the game, Rodri doesn't, run the entire pitch, but wherever he is, he does his job.
He runs the entire pitch, but
he won't touch the whole blade.
Now until you carry gun, come this place. So everything you want fight.
So it just shows that that this is a midfield that dominated Ruben Neves, João Neves, Vitinha, and Bruno Fernandes. And they did it against France. I remember saying is that if you can stop Olise from functioning, you can stop France attack. See, I've never in my life, even when he was playing for Crystal Palace, see Olise that worst in a game. It was nowhere to.
So it's not like they stopped him. He injured
his passes could not meet the next person. Like it was just playing into the hands of the opponent. Like they know his strength and they target him. Any pass like this, bam. And another person is Bakola. I don't know what Deschamps was thinking in that game. He could have started Due. Bakola was so bad that the person that was supposed to be marking him, which is Pedro Porro, can literally leave his space and go and join the attack.
Because he knows nothing will happen.
Because he's not doing anything. The same thing happens to Dembele that was supposed to be troubling Cucurella. Cucurella was contributing to Spain attack. You not think about it that what exactly is going on with France? So they make it so that all the departments that the attack function in, they nullify it and they beat them. It's not like, they were lucky. Like they beat France perfectly. So that's just it. And I think they need to learn. They need to learn that so that in a case where one tactics does not work, I think France does not have a plan B. We have the best attack. Let's go and do it. That's what they are playing.
What do you have a counter opinion? What do you think went wrong?
I saw Deschamps that day and I felt like, how did this guy got to the two finals? And I'm not saying that he's not good, but I feel like, I've seen Ancelotti win a lot of trophies without being a mastermind, a tactical genius. So I think anybody can do it too. So first off,
but sadly, not everybody has done it.
Ancelotti has done it.
Yes,
Di
that's what
Matteo
we are
has done
saying.
it.
It means this
Tuchel has done it.
Di Matteo has done
Southgate
it
has gotten to the
how many
final.
times? And like we
won
said,
the
Di
Champions
Matteo didn't even start
He won the Champions
competition. Yes, he did.
Arteta has not won the Champions League.
If you have done it, Di Matteo has done it just once. Wait, Di Matteo has done it once, Abi?
Yeah.
Di Matteo has done it just once. Has he been able to replicate it?
It was
No,
sacked
we are
the
talking
following
about
month.
people that have replicated things. This
well-
is what we are talking about. So, yes, football is a game of opinions at the end of the day. But I mean, we're not going to sit here and watch you just, shit on people's careers. and
Deschamps
achievements.
is good.
Don't do that.
Almost
I
three
believe-
World
I
Cup
believe, yeah,
finals.
trust
You
you.
can't say
No,
it's not
almost
three World Cup
Okay.
finals. No,
So
it's
yeah,
not lucky.
so
It's good.
when you go into a game and you have enough players on the bench that could change the game, why wait till 60 minutes, 70 minutes before you start making decisions? I feel like if you have a better left back in
Theo Hernandez.
Theo Hernandez, and you have a certain Lucas Hernandez who can come in and play. In 2018, Lucas Hernandez was a left back, despite the fact that he's a central back. So, because Yama had too many opportunities, and from the starts, from the first minute, from that penalty, it felt like Lucas Dean just lost it. And I felt like as a coach, coaches have had to stop players in the 35th minute. Everyone will not fall. You will not be the first person to be subbed, and you will not be the last person. If you're having a bad day, the coach should make a decision and sub. So the second half started, and I was looking at the game. I felt Tchouaméni was Tchouaméni, slow, sluggish in possession, laid back. He didn't even join the attack, and you had to remove one person. It was Adrian Rabiot. So some players are not so influential in games.
Rabiot was on yellow card actually.
Wait, some players are not so influential in games until you sub them off. And then you subbed Rabiot. Immediately, the midfield was not good. But immediately Rabiot left that midfield, he felt more open because Manu Kone is not a box-to-box midfielder. He's a six that likes to show both, likes to play
Just
around.
like Shishaman.
When you now remove a runner in midfield, you now left two blockheads, good players, no doubt, but they cannot run. They don't have the lungs to run. You decided to bring in. So the second goal, Kone could not track back, and you brought in Lacroix. I said something. Immediately, Saliba left the game. France were not having the best of games, and I'm not going to even pamper anybody. France were not having the best of games, but immediately Saliba got injured. Lacroix came in. The defense became porous. We know Upamecano to be shaky, and when it comes to duels, going into duels one-on-one, going forward is good. But when it comes to balancing the back line, it's not one of the best. In fact, I believe that when it comes to coordination, is still a bit better, is still calmer than Upamecano because of his rational tackles. I can point out games where it was Upamecano. So I feel like a lot of things didn't work for them. The forward, everybody knows Dembele doesn't play and marry a particular wing. He plays as the first nine for PSG. He comes to the left hand side, goes to the right hand side. Anywhere where game day, you go see Dembele there. So I feel like that day it just didn't work for them. Whether only say being stinking, Mbappe not being able to beat a defender, or Bakola not Bakola in anything. Due came on. It wasn't as if Due was better. They had an opportunity to score a goal for France. And what did he do? Due looked like Nicolas Jackson on that day. Wow. So I'm saying,
I don't understand. Why did he cost Nicolas Jackson now?
I'm just saying that
You didn't mention that we know it was Nicolas.
no, Darwin Nunes will shoot, but will miss
the bar.
Bar try. Now two posts together. Darwin Nunes is like that. But when it comes to affecting gameplay, he affects the gameplay more than Nicolas Jackson. But that's not
All right.
an argument.
Well,
Let me finish.
Okay, finish because this is where you want to start now.
Let me finish. I'm just trying for people to pick whatever is their own. So, but you had Mateta and Thuram on the pitch, on the bench. Well, why go with players to the World Cup when you know that you are not going to use them? I'm not saying that don't go with extra people, but you need to trust people enough. You had already qualified. You had one game in the group stage. What would have cost you nothing to start different players for them to come into? And
But if they had like a total breakdown of their normal process, we're talking midfielders were shaky, defenders were shaky, attackers were shaky. Then what exactly can a Marcus Thuram and Mateta come do for France? Because they need, for them to function, they need people to service them. Didui, Mbappe, Dembele, they are known creators. They can create stuff out of nothing. But for Marcus Thuram and Jean-Philippe Mateta, they are just standing nines where you work for. So in a situation where the entire process is not working, how would these people change games?
Laporta in 2026 is not the Laporta we used to know. And Kubasi is not a physical defender.
Oh, Laporte.
Yes, Laporte. Okay. It's not the defender we used to know, at Man City, at Bilbao. But if you bring in 2 physical players, or one of them, this guy would, practically drag the defenders back a bit. Kubasi and Laporte came into that game and were enjoying themselves. There was no presence in the box. There was no number 9 presence in the box. And I felt if you had brought in a proper 9. I've seen Marcos. I'm not a fan of Marcos, but I've seen Marcos Thuram.
Who are you exactly a fan of? Everybody now you know.
Wait. I saw Marcos Thuram play against Barca, and I saw what he did. Bring a player that can come into the game, drag the defenders back a bit. Of course, you cannot have Marcos Thuram, who is always close to the box or inside the box, and say, okay, let's leave the striking position. So if things don't work, why you have plan A and plan B or plan C is when things don't go your way, you tweak your position. You change things, and that was what Deschamps failed to do. He got it right in 2022 World Cup, but this time around it was a mess.
All right, what would you say was the issue between France and Spain for France? Because Spain had a very good.
I just think they need a plan B going forward. Just like you said, they need a plan B. That game, I was expecting, okay, since Spain is, they were playing tiki-taka. You need runners, people that can make Spain work. Okay. Like, Spain was so comfortable.
For France, they had runners.
He didn't bring them in. That's what that game.
In what position?
No, the starters were runners actually.
No, you don't understand. I'm talking about the midfield. That's the most comfortable position for us because the Chemani in the game.
Do they have runners in the midfield?
Rabiot is actually a runner.
He started.
He was stopped off.
The reason he was stopped off was because he got a yellow card, and after I think 5 minutes after, he committed another foul. The ref have to warn him because he was on yellow. That's why he took him off. I was expecting, if you know that you are not going to take off to Chemani, you are bringing in what was it called?
Kone.
You should one of the mistakes he has made is that game against Norway. If you have started most of the players that they've not had minutes, you would have known, okay, maybe if I need a plan B, I can trust this person. But you have the avenue to test their ability, whether they are fit. You didn't. You still feel like your best 11 against Norway when you already qualified. I think that caused him, because now look at Ryan Cherki. He couldn't even, we can't say Cherki came to this tournament. And we all know what this guy can do. But you didn't give him the opportunity when you were supposed to even prepare him for, okay, if we need you to affect this game, we can bring you in. Against Norway, you still did not play him at all. I think he came in, did he come in at all? Maybe 2 minutes before the end of the game.
And Deschamps did a lot of like-for-like substitution.
So those kind of things, it tells
this one for this.
Exactly, it tells on the team that we don't have a plan B. Once this plan A does not work, we are done, and that's what affects them.
Well, that's quite sad, but we can always keep talking about what one person did or what the other person didn't do. It was, like I said, it still remains quite shocking for me because when it comes to the coach and the squad itself, they are very, very experienced, and you'd be expected better from that France team. The Leblows should have given us a better game, but it happens. We're not going to hammer on them too much because we know what they can do. Hopefully, they have another opportunity to come back. But we're at the point where we are in the final of the World Cup. Aside from the finals as well, the third place would also be played between France and England. Let's start with the third place review. France v England on the 18th of July. That's on Saturday at 10 p.m. at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens in USA. So far, this head-to-head has produced about 4 wins for France, 2 draws between both sides, and 3 wins for England. The last time they met was at the World Cup as well. And well, we know how that ended. So what are we predicting for this game? France, England. How do we think this would go? For England, a lot of conversations about Kobe Mainoo has been, discussed. And now Thomas Tuchel has said, this Mainoo one I want to see by force by fire. He go play for third place. It's third place, whatever happens at the end of the day. And then for France, maybe we might see a couple of new legs as well. Maybe the likes of Ryan Cherki might make it in. Maybe Marcos Thuram or even Jean-Philippe Mateta as well. But what are we predicting this game to look like, and who do we think will be grabbing the third place?
I think France will be the one to grab, because Deschamps is leaving and he wants to leave on at least the highest possible. And as it stands, the highest possible is third. So the fourth is done and dusted. You would see players come that day.
So he has done first, second, and now third.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
That's what he did there. So he would want to live on the highest distance possible. But I still feel like this is an opportunity for you to give Zidane the opportunity to see these are the guys that have dropped for you, and even the bench is not terrible. Of course, Zidane watch most of these guys for their club side. I don't see Zidane in the stadium. Maybe watch these guys on his TV sets, but I still think that Deschamps will want to start his best players, and
again,
he looks like a stubborn person, and he's going to start his starting 11, whether they are good enough, whether it's not enough.
I think the 11 would win.
I think they would, because I think Tuchel at this point would have to bow down to media and play some players that did not play, that's not played so much. Maybe Marcus Rashford, maybe it could be Maino, maybe Nico Riley, maybe Bukayo Saka, maybe Ivan Toney, maybe even Watkins. I'm expecting Tuchel to, because this is just the beginning of his own journey. He should give these players an opportunity to play and even enjoy themselves.
And it can be very disappointing because you face England that day and if they play like say they be prime Brazil like that.
Well,
but
see, for me, I think if Tuchel know what is best for him, he has to win that top place. One bitter truth is if he end up being third, forget it. English media, they will be like, okay, maybe he did well, maybe it was not enough, let's give him time. But if he lost that top place to France, wow, he might finally get sacked.
But who do you think would win it though? Who do you think would be grabbing the third place?
Well, if you're looking at it on paper, it's definitely France.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm hoping, like, because of my bias for Tuchel, I love him. He won Champions League for my team, so I have to be biased towards him. I'm hoping for God's sake.
You don't have to, but we know you will. So
yeah, I have to. So I'm going for England. I would have to go for England.
All right, then let's also talk about the final as well. This one will be happening on Sunday, the 19th of July, 8 p.m. West African time at the MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford in the United States of America. It will be going down between Spain and Argentina. If you're looking at the head-to-head, Spain has had 3 wins, 0 draws between both sides, and Argentina has 2 wins. And these are currently the best 2 teams in the world based off the before you go bite me. Calm down. See the way you look me.
No, they are. FIFA ranking, Argentina is, I think, is it first or second before this World Cup?
So the 2 current best teams in the world, and of course, it will be a showdown between Messi and the new Messi, according to how they've been pushing it. That's what they've been saying. We are going to see the battle of Messis in this final on Sunday. Who will win? The old Messi or the new Messi? We'll find out. So yes, let's take predictions quickly. Spain, Argentina. Who do you think will be coming out as the world champion?
At the start of this World Cup, I said Spain is one of those teams I was expecting to win. But from the group stage to the round of 32, I wasn't impressed with whatever Spain did. And I felt like, okay, they were going to drop. And yet, I was surprised to see them in the final. So, Argentina versus Spain. I'm not going to be biased in this one because Spain is just backer game. So I'm going to go for Argentina to win because at this point, at this point,
I hope you know that means Messi is winning Ballon d'Or.
We already said it. We already did the calculation. I said,
well, I wouldn't be surprised because if all of a sudden a tournament that happened in just 1 month determines who wins the Player of the Year.
Okay.
It has happened before.
It has happened
already.
No, it has happened.
It has happened before.
It has happened more than once.
They don't talk about it. At first there's a conversation of can a player win Ballon d'Or and doesn't play in Europe and all of that.
Pele did not play in Europe. Pele never played in Europe.
So I'm just saying it now.
So I mean, there's been a lot of conversations, a lot of things have been going on.
I did the public. I said if England had won the World Cup, it would be Bellingham. If Spain, I said Yamal. If Argentina wins it, Messi. If France wins it, I'm telling you that.
But it will be very disappointing, though, to be very, very honest, that a crop of players would play their hearts out for months, rake up numbers, goals, assists, be instrumental to their team, and get to that point where you think, okay, they've done really, really well for club and maybe country, because I mean some of these players
like
even got to the Harry Kane, we are talking semi-final, Michael Olise semi-final as well, and a couple of other names as well, and then somehow just in a space of 1 month and a lot of hype and PR, another person seems to be like the front runner for. I'm not insinuating, I'm just saying fight with your conscience, but it is what it is.
Ronaldo won the 2002 Ballon d'Or with 11 goals at the World Cup. before the World Cup, he was injured. So I'm not saying that he wasn't good enough, but he didn't have numbers for his club side, and 11 goals was enough for him to win the World Cup.
Exactly what
For
I am
Ballon
saying.
d'Or.
I just
So,
said,
Cannavaro won it in 2006.
I just said it is
Modric won it
unfair
in
right now.
2018.
Do you understand what
Messi
I'm
won
saying?
it in 2022.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I am saying it is unfair. That is what I am stating. I'm not saying it has
Definitely.
never happened before.
Definitely.
Like you said, you just mentioned a couple of
Definitely.
situations where it happened. It has happened before. But what I am stating is it is unfair. And we know this. But it's not, because the annoying thing is when we talk about stuff like this, I always think we talk, because you already say mention names. I wasn't even trying to talk about Messi.
Well, I know you
it
have
applies to Messi right now.
You finally
Doesn't mean it has
mentioned the name.
never happened before.
You finally mentioned
It has happened with a couple of other people, but you know, it is what it is. So let's get your predictions quickly.
So
We have a
FIFA
few
boys
more
for me,
minutes to go.
FIFA boys to win.
Okay.
Argentina to win.
All right. So
Whether by hook or by crook.
who is winning for you, Spain, Argentina?
Well, if you look at the game, I think if Spain,
Don't let us look at the game.
Yeah, we
Just
have
tell
to.
me who
It's a
will
game.
win, I beg.
If Spain keeps playing the way they are playing, they have the upper hand. But don't rule out a team that has Messi in it. So that's it. On paper, Spain. From my heart, I'm going for Argentina.
You go pick one. Rather you go pick
You go just choose
pick
one.
Argentina, because we go rather don't say Odisru.
I said,
Leave paper on your heart. Give me one country. Who is winning?
okay, Argentina.
Good. You die.
No.
Now what?
Who be your own this thing?
The person will win and I win.
No, say something.
I genuinely want. Well, don't let me say I want Spain to
Your
win.
prediction.
I never wanted them to be very, very honest. But as it stands, let's take away emotions or whatever from it. If we're going to look at because Argentina has come back not once, not twice in this competition. So unless Spain is leading by 3-0 at maybe 80 something minutes,
And the ref gets some.
I don't know about that much, but yeah, I think I'll go for Spain. To win the World Cup. But let's
next
see.
week.
Let's see what can happen. So we're wrapping it up on Culture 11 for today. It's been a fun time hanging with you right here on the show. Remember, every Friday the boys will be in the studio and we'll talk about the culture of football on Culture 11. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you. If you've enjoyed the conversation so far, do not forget to subscribe, comment, like, and of course, expect episodes. Definitely push as many as you can. Invite your friends and come enjoy wonderful sporting information. Until next time, they call me Josh the Black Boy Coffee. We'll be talking more about transfer news in the next podcast. The likes of Tillemans are joining Man United, Ter Stegen to Ajax, Aubameyang to Deportivo La Coruna, Mazambi to Aston Villa, João Gomez from Wolves to Aston Villa, and a lot of other conversations like that. But you know, we'll keep it for the next episode, and definitely it'll be a fun time. Have a very wonderful time. Have a very wonderful weekend. Bye for now.
Culture 11!